Hey y'all, Preston here from Mossy Oak. So today I'm going to be talking about scouting deer mid-season. Now, mid-season can mean a couple different things wherever you're at in the country. I consider mid-season to be that time after the deer are off their early season summer patterns, but they're not quite into that pre-rut stage. They're kind of in that stale period where honestly it can be pretty tough. Now here in the South, in Mississippi, I would say our mid-season is November basically. You know, late November they're starting pre-rutting, but most of the time November, that's our mid-season. And that may vary the farther north you go in the country. Generally, it's just gonna be after your early season, before your pre-rut. That's what I would consider mid-season. So one thing I really like to target in the mid-season, whether that's hanging trail cameras and taking inventory on deer, or I'm trying to hunt that buck, is food. Most of the time mid-season, that's when your fruit, you know, your persimmons, your muscadines, stuff like that is kind of gone. So that food source is not really available that time of year, but acorns are still a big factor. So obviously you always want to try to find hot acorn trees, whether that be white oaks or even coming into mid-season, red oaks are starting to drop. So definitely target acorns. Another thing is anywhere close to bedding is going to be a really good spot. You know, transition areas where you've got bedding to hardwoods or bedding to food where there's acorns is going to be a good spot, because those bucks are not going to move a lot in the daylight in the mid-season. So with that being said, another thing to really keep in mind is food plots this time of year. If you're fortunate enough to get your seed in the ground, get some moisture and your food plot started coming up, that fresh green growth is very desirable for deer. I mean, deer like humans, they like a variety of food. They like, you know, they have different palates. So certain times of year they like to eat certain things. So if you've got some fresh food plots coming up, those can be a hot spot, because all your natural browse is getting dry and bitter and they just don't like it. So acorns and food plots can really be a hot spot, especially when you're close to bedding this time of year. So one thing I would say is to really focus on is, once you find your food source, find those travel routes that those bucks are using to get to that food source. That way you can hunt in between bedding and the food and intercept him before he gets to the food before dark. That way you have a better chance of seeing him in the daylight. So guys, there's some things I like to do scouting for deer in the mid-season. You know, this can be pretty much applied throughout the whole country, and I hope this helps you find those deer, because it can be a tough time of year. So y'all be sure to take into consideration all these things I just told you about, and good luck this season.